Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy Elvious Boy coming back with a final part to What If Tanjiro Was Born with the Demon Slayer mark. I know I've taken a really long break, everyone, but um, I've been really busy with schoolwork. I caught COVID, so I was out for a bit, and then I just got sick over and again, and my throat was just killing me. So, with that being done, I'll just go over what happened in the last part of the series. In the last part of the series, Tanjiro, as well as all the other Hashiras, started to train all the other Demon Slayers in the Demon Slayer Corps, that being all the regular people as well as Kanao, Zenitsu, and all the other people. Doesn't really matter. Muzan had come into the mansion and had talked to the leader, Kaguya, and Kaguya had exploded his entire mansion, killing his wife and his two children to damage Muzan. In that frenzy, all the other Hashira had come in and had tried to attack Muzan with the new upper rank 4 Nakime, using her demon blood art, which is the massive Infinity Castle. They would all go into there, and the new arc would start, with all the other Hashira being pretty much all alive and in physical great health. They would start to decimate all the other upper ranks there, starting with the new upper rank 6, Kaigaku, with Zenitsu being able to take care of him with pretty much ease. Gyoku would have died long before, as well as Hantengu, with Nakime taking her place. Akaza would have also been dead, and Doma would have lost in his fight against Kanao and Inosuke. With another fight, that being Kokushibo, Kokushibo would have had to take on nearly half the Hashiras, that being Giyu, Obanai, the Wind Hashira, Saname, Gyomi, the Mist Hashira, Miichiro, as well as Tanjiro, with Kokushibo dying, not being able to regenerate his head from Tanjiro using his Breath of the Sun to be able to cut off his head, with the last fight being Muzan and all the other Hashiras now going to face him. Muzan would have healed by now, taking out all the poison that had once infected his body, and is now starting to go on a killing spree, killing all the Demon Slayer core members that are around his vicinity to get as much health back as he can. Now this is where we will start the episode, with all the Hashiras and Tanjiro finding Muzan, who had been slaughtering all the Demon Slayer core members. Saname would pick up one of the swords on the ground and throw it right towards Muzan, stabbing him right in the head. Muzan would realize that all this is happening and would try to figure out that he thought that a lot of the other Hashira had died, but this is obviously because of Yushiro using his demon blood art to change the kind of mind of the upper rank 4 Nakime. Muzan would immediately kill her using his blood that's already inside her to basically snap her neck, or whatever he does to kill Nakime. With the Infinity Castle now breaking down, they would all be launched up into the next arc, that being the Sunrise Countdown arc. With Muzan in his final form, he would whip out all his massive tentacles as well as his back tentacles, and would get ready to unleash a massive flurry of whips and slashes towards all the Hashira in an attempt to kill as many as possible. The slashes would not work, as all the Hashiras are stronger than they are in the original, with the help of Tanjiro, and Tanjiro will be able to help defend a lot of the slashes that are going towards the Demon Slayer members, mainly the Hashira. All the Hashira would use their individual their breathing techniques to try and fight Muzan, but as you know, Muzan is an extremely powerful demon and would be able to block and pretty much heal from any slice that the Hashira do inflict on him. But one thing that he is very cautious about is Tanjiro. He can see it in him, his eyes. He's ready for the battle, and he's ready to kill Muzan for all the terrible things that he's done. Muzan would whip his tentacles away much faster than they were before in an attempt to cut down as many Hashira as possible, and that he does succeed, being able to whip them all away, not killing them but leaving them unable to fight for the time being before they can get medical help, that being Gyome, Matsuri, Gyuyu, as well as Michiro. The only three that are left standing as well as Kojiro and Tengen. Forgot to add them in there as well. The only three that are left over is Obanai, as well as Sanemi and Tanjiro. The three would start to fight off against Muzan. Tanjiro using the breath of the sun and using the 13th form. The 13th form being a combination of all the forms in a sequence over and over again. As Tanjiro is much stronger and knows all the breath of the sun forms, he'd be able to use the 13th form without having to have that weird flashback thing of him going into his ancestors' bodies. Tanjiro would perform the 13th form and would be able to get on an upper rank, not an upper rank, but like an upper tier on Muzan, being able to cut him down over and over again. And with that damage being dealt over and over again, Muzan would be wondering why he's getting slower, or was it because Tanjiro is getting faster? He would quickly in his mind go and search for an answer, but nothing would come up. He would quickly realize that this must be an effect of the poison that Tamiyo had injected him with, and would bring up her mind up into his little mind space. He would ask Tamiyo what is happening to him, but because Tamiyo can't really not say what's happening, she would say that the poison that had been inflicted on him, turning back into a demon, had different effects that would also affect him, that being the rapid aging. Muzan would realize that he's aging at a much faster pace and would have aged thousands of years in just a few hours. He would realize that he needs to get rid of this poison and would need to circulate the blood, or get the poison out of his bloodstream so that he can fight at his normal strength. But he won't be able to focus on that right now, as Tanjiro is slashing him down using the 13th form over and over again. Both Obanai and Sanemi had realized that Tanjiro is on a much different level towards them. Tanjiro is being able to defend them when they're getting into a sticky situation, as well as cut down Muzan and his tentacles, being able to cut further and further towards Muzan's neck, which they had not been able to do. Tanjiro, now focusing 100% on everything that he's doing, would start to push Muzan back. Muzan realized that the sunrise is about to come and he needs to get out of here as fast as he can. In an attempt to get away, he would use his demon blood art, and he would use a massive shockwave to try and launch all the people away. With that being done, they would launch Tanjiro, Sanemi, and Obanai away, and when he would try to get his escape. But Tanjiro would quickly get the effect away from him and launch towards Muzan, and would start to cut him down. Tanjiro, with all his strength and being a pretty much god at this point, would use the 13th form for one last time and would cut off Muzan's head. As we know, Muzan can pretty much grow his head back, but that won't really be in effect right now, as the sun is about to come up, as well as Tanjiro's bright red Nichiren blade being able to cut off or massively slow down his regeneration. Muzan would realize that the only hope now is to try and infect another demon with his blood, another person with his blood, in hopes to make them the new demon king. And with the only person really close by, Tanjiro, he would try to go towards him. Without a head, as well as Muzan still has his sensory abilities, he would launch towards Tanjiro, but Tanjiro wouldn't have any of this and would cut off Muzan's arms, and then his legs, and then his body into little pieces. And as the sun comes up, Muzan's body would start to disintegrate, and in his mind he would cry to himself, realizing that he's afraid of death. All this time he was afraid to grow, and he was afraid to die, and he doesn't really have any real emotions as he's a sociopath towards anybody else, but he would be afraid to go to hell, as there kind of is a hell in this story. With Muzan now dead, all the other Hashira who are all alive at this point and didn't really need to get up at all, as Tanjiro basically soloed this entire series. That would pretty much be it, with a lot of the Demon Slayer members being still alive as well as all the Hashira. The story would be in a much better place with all the characters in it. With the story coming to an end, it would be pretty much the exact same as in the original. Tanjiro would end up marrying Kanao and would have a happy ending with her, having a few kids which will then relate into their descendants in the later Demon Slayer manga. All the other demons such as Yushiro would continue to live, and the Demon Slayer members would all pretty much live happy lives without demons in it, as well as all the Hashira who end up being alive, and Obanai as well as Mitsuri would end up marrying each other and would have a happy life together. With that pretty much being end, I would thank you guys for listening to the story. I know it was a bit shorter than a lot of my other series, but this arc was pretty fast paced, as Tanjiro is just so much of a unit, so there wouldn't be much to, go on from there. With all the members in the story having a nice happy ending, it'd be pretty much a pretty good ending to the story. So if you guys did enjoy, please hit that like button and subscribe button, and I'll be trying to post more often from now on. I still am in a lot of internals, so I thought I could just make this part really quickly, just so I can continue with my internals and stuff for school. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you guys later.